Okay, gun show report and panic buying situation. Very unusual. Usually, gun shows are scheduled like Winston-Salem's every other month, and there's a normal schedule that's made by the different promoters so that vendors and dealers can schedule their business. It's their business, and a lot of people are traveling. So, what happened this week is pretty strange. I guess the governor lifted a lot of the restrictions for the COVID thing, like we ain't got to wear masks. Everybody can open their business up to full capacity, other than I think there is some stuff restricted, but in general, most of the restrictions are lifted. So I'm driving around and on the radio I hear, oh, go to the gun show here, go to the gun show here, all week long. And I'm like, there really wasn't any gun shows supposed to be. Winston-Salem just had one, and then I think the one in Greensboro that was scheduled, he does it every other month, is what he was doing. So I go online and look, and within a 2-hour driving radius, I had Hickory, Salisbury, Greensboro, and then there was some other place out on the coast. There's like 4 or 5 gun shows all scheduled for this weekend. So I said, that's strange. So I went to the one in Greensboro just to see what's going on. And the last 2 or 3 that I went to, and like I said, it's been every other month. The first one was like a zoo. You couldn't get in there. Okay, it was the first one they had in almost 8 months in the area. It was packed. And the other 2 afterwards, the one I went to before, a few months ago, I had to wait in line because there was only so many people that can go in, and there was a person counting, and when like 5-10 people left, they let 5-10 people in. And even though it's a small venue, it was fairly crowded. Okay, and I didn't get a chance to actually look at the prices on a lot of things. A lot of people, what were they selling this for? What were they selling that for? So I go this time, and I mean the parking lot's half empty. And you see some people milling around, and I'm like, oh boy, here we go. So this show's going to be deader than shit. So I was wondering, I had a friend there, it's a dealer, that was there, and I was wondering if he was going to be there. And so I get there, I go in, I pay my $5, get into the show, and there was hardly anyone there. And again, same size, it was full of vendors, some of the familiar people, and my friend was there. Okay, so what ended up going on is the first show, I couldn't even talk to him. The second show, I did say hello to him, talk to him for a minute, but he was constantly busy. And he's got like 10 tables, and he has a couple people working with him. It was just selling guns, selling stuff. And the last show, I did talk to him a bit. But, he was moving stuff, inventory. He has to go fill out the paperwork and do the background check and all that. So when somebody buys something, he's going to go over there and do that. So I get to the table and seen him, and I started talking to him. And I sat down at the spot where you fill out the forms, and I talked to him for 45 minutes. I mean, it was nothing going on there. And that's when he started telling me, well, what they're doing is when these promoters jam these shows in there. They actually had one in Hickory, and he lives close by. He goes, next month is the scheduled Hickory show. And what he does when he just shoves this gun show in there unscheduled, at an odd time that's not scheduled in advance, the dealers like him, he's already committed to come to this gun show in another city. So he's not going to drop everything and lose his deposit money here and go to the other show because people are expecting to come here and see him at this show. So it creates this problem, and then I guess the promoters get anybody to go in there to fill the tables, And then you got people selling, cheap knives, stun guns, that kind of crap. The flea market stuff. And there's not any actual gun dealers and that in there. That hurts the show. People go pay their $10 to get in there. There really ain't no guns for sale or nothing you're interested in, so guess what? Next time they have a show there, I ain't going. Alright, so that's what my friend was complaining. When they do this, they hurt the dealers. He goes, then when I go there next month, all the people that came the month before, there's nobody really selling anything they're interested in, they're not going to come to that show again and lose another $10 wandering around with a bunch of crap. So that's something we don't realize as you look at it from the perspective of the people going to the show, that that's their livelihood, that this is all screwed up. So I got to talk to him. Then also, we talked about the last report I did. I said how the guy in front of me, there was an argument, and I was telling him about this, about the guy got in an argument about not wearing a mask, and it just exploded, and they wouldn't sell him a ticket, and I just kind of went in. I don't know how it ended. Well, he said, you didn't hear. He goes, that show was another show they just plugged in, because he says the one coming up in a week or two was the normally scheduled show, which, I was curious. Usually, I find my friend at the Winston show. So I was curious that he wasn't there for that show. But my battery's dying, and I'll come back and tell you what he told me interesting about that. Okay, so like I said, I told him I went to the Winston show, and it was like a zoo. It was the first one they had in a year and all this other stuff. And he explained to me that that was an unscheduled show. They just had the opportunity, they'd allow them to do it. The thing was available to be rented, so the promoter just threw a show in there. Well, he goes to the show, started late. He goes, I heard it started late. I said, I don't know, I just got up and left the house at 10 or so. It should open at 9. And when I got there, there was a line, so I just figured there were a lot of people there. He goes, no, the show opened up late. He goes, because what happened is, whenever you go to the show, there's 1 hour before the show opens to the public. They send people around, all your guns got to be tied, they do a quick inspection, they go over the rules, and then they open the show. Okay, the promoters do check to make sure, like, basically it's all your guns are tied and wrapped, okay, and that type of deal. Well, this show, they told all the dealers, you have to wear a mask or face. Some of them were wearing face shields and stuff. You have to wear protective covering over your face. And there was one vendor that flat out refused, says, I'm not wearing a mask. And I was wondering why. There was an empty bunch of tables. So he told me that the promoter got in an argument with this vendor. Said, you're putting a mask on or you're leaving. And the guy said, I'm not putting on a mask, I'm not leaving. And actually it escalated to where the man promoting the show called the police and had the individual arrested and removed from the building for trespassing. So that's why this blowout in the lobby in front of me, they already went through this. And yeah, they would tell you to leave, and if you didn't leave, the police would come and take you away for trespassing. So it was kind of intense. So you see, with this panic stuff, and then throw in, that's another thing he mentioned, the gas crisis. That's another thing on there. The gas crisis, all this other stuff, the panic buying, everything's going up. Gasoline, food. There's people talking about food shortages now. And lumber and all raw materials have escalated or tripled in price. So it ain't the guns and ammo no more. Now it's your gasoline and your food. So throw that into the mix. There's a lot of people ain't driving because of the gas shortage. So that hurts the venue too. And getting back to the ammunition shortage. every week I get more and more emails from all these online sellers of ammunition or ammunition wholesalers, whatever you want to call them. And again, it's 5.56, 9 millimeter, 7.6 2x39, all them defense calibers and 12 gauge buckshot. It's just this whole thing, it's in stock, whatever. And it's there. I don't know, I'm not buying any of that ammo, but that's the ammo everyone wants. 9 millimeter, 380, 5.56. Okay? Like whenever I talk about guns and that out in public, most people, that's what they're looking for. Other handgun calibers and that also, but basically those are the ones. You know, for the ARs, AKs, 9 millimeter, which is probably the most popular handgun around, and right behind it, it's 380 automatic defense guns, and 12 gauge double-aught buckshot. And another weird thing, I see a lot of 12 gauge clip-fed guns that look like bullpups, ARs, all this other stuff, and they go anywhere from $500 to $1,000. And that was at the show. A lot of these guns, a lot of these tables had several different variations of these guns there, which is, you know, military style looking with a 10-round magazine, a 12 gauge double-aught buck. Okay, something I've never owned, something I don't want, but they were there, and they're very popular. People have asked me about them. I know nothing about them. They have a pretty good price tag on them too. So the ammunition shortage, it ain't going to go on forever. This one probably was the worst one out of all of them. And after all these waves over the years, ups and downs, personally, I'm getting older and I'm just tired of it. And I'll tell you how crazy it is, okay? I go to this show, and there was one guy had this huge long table, all ammunition, covered the whole back wall. He was there the last two shows. And he's got stuff in boxes, and he's got a price tag on it. Well, everyone's going for ammo, so I never stopped and looked. So I start going and looking at his prices. And he had like PPU ammo. It's like the military thing, the 7 millimeter and the 8 millimeter. 7 millimeter Mauser was the standard price, $19, $20 a box. He had several other things. I was looking. My friend asked me to sell all this ammo because online you can get a ton of money for it. And at 50 Action Express, he had it there, $32 a box. Okay, a lot of this stuff, you know, this one person had this ammo. He was selling stuff. So I go look. He's got, you know, box of 22s like this, 50-round box, okay, a Gila or something. I sold about 4,000 rounds of that at the flea market. What I would do is I would sell little boxes for $3 a piece, and I was making anything like 50 to 75 cents. And at the flea market, I put 4 or 5 of them out, and people just walking by would constantly buy them all day long. Okay? It was only 50 cents, 75 cents, but like I said, over the summer, I sold 4,000 rounds of ammo. Okay? People like that low price, a few bucks, and they, you know, and away it went. This guy on one table has a box of 22s, 50-round box, marked at $8.75. And if you go online, like you go to Buds and all this, that's what they sell, $8.75. I went to the table next to him, or a little bit of ways, and this guy had all these ammo cans. And I was just, instead of just trying to go and look, I looked, he had the same 22 ammunition. 50-round box, okay, with a $25 price tag on it. So you could go here and buy that 50-round box of 22 ammo for $8.75, or you could go another 10 feet away and pay $25 for it. Okay, this is what the disproportionate insanity of this all is. Okay, and people were paying $90 a box for the 6.5 Carcano. Now, obviously, they said PPU makes it once a year. And someone said about now the stuff should be arriving to the United States. And it's questionable. I seen somebody posted on my One MeWe page that AIM Surplus had it. And it was the normal price, like $20 a box, 19 something or whatever. $20 a box was what the normal price was before the crisis. So this guy posted it. I don't know when he posted it. It was the same day. So he posted it in the chat. I believe it was the same day. So I went to AIM quickly just to see what they were getting for it. And it was sold out. And I believe it was priced at about $20 a box. Not 90, not 60, $20 a box, a normal price. But then my friend was telling me something. Yeah, he was telling me the same thing. Because everyone asking for the 6.5 Carcano ammo. He goes, it was sold out. But he was saying that it was more than $20 a box, which it wasn't. I seen the price. So the stuff's being made, but it's being bought up, like someone said, it was 10 times greater demand. So what does that mean? In reality, that means whatever the companies can produce and sell in a year, they have another 5-10 years of demand. So this is what the thing is. The companies are working around the clock. They're doing everything, but every raw material, gasoline. If gasoline goes up, then the price of everything goes up because it gets sent there on a delivery truck. So we're screwed. But I'm seeing all kinds of nonsense. And now with this panic buying and this giant crisis, you're going to see that backward slush. People are fed up. People are fed up with wearing a mask and all this crazy stuff. People are fed up with these insane prices. Okay? And again, the whole root cause of this is people. It's like the gas crisis. Okay? For a couple days, up on the corner, the gasoline was sold out on a couple pumps, but I went there, filled up my pickup truck, and got gas for a lawnmower. Okay? 5 gallons. People were fighting, attacking each other, and I guess in the larger cities, there were problems over the gasoline. And again, it was 48 hours of madness. And if you just keep your car gassed up, I mean, yeah, maybe some people got caught short, they're running out, and there ain't no gas, you're kind of screwed. It's an inconvenience, but like in 24 hours, it kind of all straightened itself the hell out. The only problem is, now you're going to see gasoline's going to be over $3 a gallon, I think, anywhere you go. So, and then, like everything, lumber's gone up. People are complaining about that. I got to repair my porch, so that's going to cost me more than what I expected. And they're talking about food shortages. You can't win. But you're seeing it with the ammo and stuff come back. There are plenty of guns, plenty of Glocks. I really don't know if they're overpriced. People were selling guns there at the show. I mean, I seen people sitting down filling out paperwork, so people were selling stuff. And like I said, now they open 5 venues at once. They throw the whole system up, where to go, where to buy, and the promoters hurt themselves. So it's crazy. But on the other hand, like I said, you're starting to see it come down to where prices are coming down and people are just fed up and not going to pay. If they got any sense, okay, you don't pay it. You just wait. I'd say, my honest opinion, it's almost June. The rest of this year is going to be bad. Because there are no primers, there are no powder. That's like one guy had some small pistol primer, Magnum, Small pistol primers, again, it's a weird box. It wasn't a standard brand. $125 for 1,000, and ain't nobody running off with them. Okay. Where that other show I went to last month, same crap was there, was $175 a box, and nobody was tearing them off the table. Okay. So that's how it's looking. So, you know, like I said, I got another 6 months. I'm gonna fool around some more with the black powder. And then I'm going to go to a gun show probably next weekend, so there'll be another report there. And if it's slow, I'll look at some prices and give you guys an idea what's going on. But that's the situation as it is. All right, stay tuned.